Halloween, so jazzed, so hyped. I hope you guys are too.
We're filming this in the first week of October, so we're this excited already. Just
woo! It's Halloween. Oh my god! And we wanted to do just like a really cool kickoff episode.
Yeah. On our favorite day of the year.
Yeah, the day of our Lord Halloween.
Is our Lord Halloween? We don't know, a pagan. But yeah, Halloween's the time of year where you can get drunk and wear a costume. So
yeah, I mean, it's no longer just a Tuesday.
It's like a Tuesday, but you dress up.
But everyone's doing it.
Yeah. Also, Halloween did originate in Ireland, so the fact that we drink is normal.
Shout out to Ireland.
Shout out to Ireland.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think Halloween is such a fun time of the year, and it's so great to be able to like just let loose, have some fun with the people you love. Yeah. Well, we have a jam-packed episode, so join us on our Halloween Spectacular.
I don't know. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. When it comes to Halloween, like, what are some of the movies or like music that you listen to get into the mood?
For me, I feel like it's like a big shift from like just fall. Like I start as soon as there's like a chill in the air, and then I'm like immediately. I mean, it's music that I listen to all year round, anyways. But there's like a certain type of music in the fall. Like I feel like I go into a real like Smiths vibe. Elliott Smith, all of the Smiths.
A real writing
Smiths,
a screenplay
Elliott
in a
Smith.
cafe.
Yeah, it's very like chilly, sad girl, autumn. That's what I listen to that all year round anyways.
Sad girl autumn. The fall for me is like acoustic guitar.
Well, and like singer-songwriter kind of vibes.
Yeah. Just trying to make it work, busking on a corner.
Yeah.
We love it. It's an autumn vibe for sure. An autumn atmosphere. Yeah, no, like, I mean, when it comes to music, it's so funny because the other day I was at karaoke, and yesterday actually, and my friend was like, oh, I'm gonna sing Halloween songs, like Halloween songs all through October, and I was like, what
are Halloween like from movies? Or?
But they had put together like an entire list of songs. It was like Hungry Like the Wolf, which I was like, that.
Oh, so they're like, it's pretty loosely based on like, yeah.
But to be fair, they had Dragula on it, and I was like, that's a fair. So
Halloween anything that could be like spooky, I could see that.
Spooky-esque songs, anything that mentions that kind of stuff.
Right.
A little bit of Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of
true.
jazz.
That's true.
Swamp Thing as well is another.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when I saw the list, I was like, okay, I see what you're saying.
Now that you mention it, okay, I can see that. You could make that work.
Yeah, like the only song that comes to mind for me when it comes to Halloween is like Thriller.
Yeah, Thriller is like a classic.
It is the one. It's the song. So
yeah, any musical number from like a Halloween-ish kind of or like spooky musical, definitely good.
For sure. Maybe even Little Shop of Horrors.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I mean, when it comes to music, not as much. But when it comes to movies, oh gosh.
So do you have a one that you watch every year?
Obviously a little cliche and a little too on the nose for its upcoming release, but Hocus Pocus is...
Hocus Pocus is a yearly classic.
Zachary was my bae when I was a kid.
Yeah. Fair.
I was like, I don't care if you've anamorphed into a cat, like, we're friends, like, I want to be your friend.
I like having like spooky movie nights in October.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a little harder depending on like everyone's schedule. Like when I lived with roommates, we would do it like as often as possible. We would just do like spooky movie month, and we'd have movie nights all the time. Yeah, but I did just restart Buffy.
Oh, Buffy's a classic,
which I'm already enjoying so much.
Oh.
It's a 10 out of 10 rewatch. If anyone's like, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, just fucking watch it. It's so good.
Yeah. Let's be honest, Xander's a little bitch. But
yeah, but I had a huge crush on him when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, Giles is
my man now.
Yeah. Giles is warming on me. You know what I mean?
Giles is hot.
So hot.
And Spike.
I used to like Angel
Never
when I was
liked
younger,
Angel.
But now I'm like,
he's good. Like he's like, obviously good.
Get yourself together, David
He's
Boreanaz.
just a little annoying. Then again, Spike's the worst, but I still have a crush on him. So,
but you know what? It's sort of like, and I know we're going back to real high school vibes. Not high school, but you know, whatever, baby. When it goes to like, it's like Vampire Diaries. I lean more toward the person who's supposed to be bad, I guess, at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I find that it's so much harder for somebody to like get better as a person, and I know we're getting a little real here. It's so much harder for somebody to get better as a person than it is for somebody who's always super good to do one thing bad.
Yeah.
And so for me,
so when I see characters like Spike, who has this like good arc.
Yeah, I like those kind of characters when I watch movies that have that kind of arc.
It's more interesting for sure. And I mean, realistically, it is more relatable because everybody fucks up. You can meet, like, good people do bad things. Like, you know, fucking shows about, like, actual murder and stuff. It's like, they're not monsters. They're real people.
Yeah. Like, don't worry. Albert knows. How's it going, man? He's having a good time.
He's doing great. He's in his elements.
Albert.
Albert?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Albert has not made a appearance yet, but
no, Owliver. But he's Albert, but that works too. Albert.
So his name is now Albert.
There you go. I don't know where Owliver is.
No, Owliver needs to get here.
He'll be here one day.
Oh, one day.
For my Halloween party, maybe. I think he's in the cupboard somewhere, but I'm not sure.
But yeah, when it comes to Halloween movies, pop culture, let us know what you guys like.
What's the Halloween classic?
I don't know. There's Halloween episodes.
Yeah, like what Jordan does, my housemate. He, like, as October comes up, he'll just watch the Halloween episodes of, like, different shows. Yeah. And he has them saved in, like, a little folder. But, like, Halloween, like, that 70s show, like, all the Tree Houses of Horror, yes. Like, just literally any show he'll watch the Halloween episodes of, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. No,
so
for sure.
That's a fun way to kind of get in the mood for Halloween.
I also, and don't come for me, Gen Z, but yeah, we're all Gen Z.
She hates us.
We're all Gen. Oh, okay. A little trigger over here. Okay. But when it comes to like watching TV on channels was a lot different when you got those, when you do get those like special holiday shows. Only because it's during the holiday. The time around the holiday. That's true.
That was pretty fun.
Whereas like now when I binge stuff, sometimes I'm binging
You're like, it's a Christmas episode. Yeah. I know. I mean? Yeah, having some come up like at the right time, there was something kind of special about that.
Yeah.
Well, so with The Simpsons, like I rewatch The Simpsons all the time because I'm a big fan, and I'm Glory Years, Golden Years Simpson fan, so I only watch up until a certain level.
Yes.
But I skip Treehouse of Horror until October. I would refuse. So I literally skip it every time because I want to save it, and it makes it like more special because I will rewatch it on a fucking loop.
Well, it's nice to be able to go back and watch things like me and Gargoyles. Yes.
Oh my god, I love Gargoyles.
I am watching
Gargoyles.
I
gotta watch that again. I haven't seen that in years.
So good.
That was a favorite.
Such a good
also,
one.
remember Mummy's Alive?
Oh, Mummy's Alive!
Okay.
So streaming sites, holler. Great. But yeah, I think that...
Although I have some complaints for each of the streaming sites. First of all, where's the L word?
Here she
goes. The original is gone. Furious. Thanks, Crave. At one of our parties, we had like a mudroom in the front.
Okay.
And so like we had people obviously just like walk into the party, and the mudroom was lit with like red lighting. Mm-hmm. And we bought a CD from Value Village that was like Halloween sounds. So it was like creaky doors and like ghost sounds, and we put it on just like on repeat through the night. I loved it. Yo,
the soundscapes are they're a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
I do feel like there are some DJs, and you all know who you are, who are now just making soundscapes, and it's not even a song. But I digress.
We're not impressed.
Yeah. So just get out my typewriter and put a
Dear
strongly
DJs.
Dear DJs of the world.
To who it may concern.
To whom it may concern. Stop it.
Yeah.
Well, I remember we used to have like haunted houses in our elementary schools.
Yes.
And it was like, it was so cheesy, but so good. It was such a good memory. Although I'm one of those people who, if I get scared, I might have a violent reaction.
I did have a violent reaction. I think we've talked about this.
Yes.
Our school had the grade 8s every year would do like their classroom as a haunted house, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember us doing it, which now I feel robbed. But they definitely had it every year, and then like I went through as a kid, and I was a fairy. I had this like little pointy wand, and I distinctly remember someone scaring me and me jabbing them right in the eye with it. They were fine, I'm pretty sure, but like immediate violence, just like. Ugh.
I mean, that's a good plug. I mean, for everybody who has one of those like self-defense tactical kits, pointy wand.
True.
Oh, same here. I remember going through, it wasn't even Halloween, it was a escape room, and it was a horror escape room. And basically the premise of it was like, there's a monster on the loose, and every time the music changes, then the monster's around. And there were only a couple.
That's scary.
It is very scary because there's only certain places you can hide.
Oh my God, I'm
where the
already
monster
scared.
can't get you. Yes. And so you only there's only a certain amount of places. So if you don't get to them, you don't know what the monster's going to do to you, right? Remember the music changed the first time, and I swear I pushed this girl out of the way. I was like, move!
Everyone for themselves.
I am not good at competitions.
The adrenaline gets so high, and I just like look for an exit immediately.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? If you're not gonna move out of the way when it's clutch, then I don't need you in my zombie
to be honest,
movie band of friends. That's how this works.
Yeah, it's true. I do have conversations a lot with people about, like, frequently actually, about like if it was like an apocalypse or a zombie apocalypse or something, like which one of your friends or which of your friends are you taking? I'm sorry to let you know, you're on the list, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good. But like, which ones of your friends are you taking, and which ones are you like, sorry, like I love you, but we don't have room in the car.
Listen,
like,
I love
what
you,
skills
but
do you
get
bring
the
to the
fuck
table?
out.
I have literally none, but I did think of this, so I feel like I would
I'm the main character in my story, so
I'd be the one who brings everyone together, and then like an episode in, they'd be like, what do you do? And then they'd kill me, so.
Well, I mean, you think that, but there's many a horror film where I'm like, what the heck is this person doing?
They're organizing, okay?
They're supervising the carnage, yes. I remember watching this YouTube video, and I forgot who it is. In edit, we'll put it in here. But it was basically, if horror movies were just black people, and they all ended in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, they're all like, we're not going into that fucking house.
Driving down the road, and they see like a creepy hitchhiker, and the girl's like, what? You're not gonna stop? And they're like, nope,
not at all.
They can call Jesus.
Today, like the Key and Peele sketch popped up where they're in like a zombie apocalypse, and they realize like none of them are trying to eat them, and they're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, they're not letting their kid eat us. Like,
come on.
There's these like old zombie grandmas trying to roll up in their window, and they're like, really?
I mean, in that case, it is black girl magic. Please don't eat me, zombies. That's the only time I'm like, yes, please, single me out.
Exactly.
See, we're all excited with our festive drinks.
Beer.
A white wine in a cup that says, if you got it, haunt it. And that's some Dollarama magic.
So, shout out Dollarama, sponsor us.
Yeah, Dollarama, your multiple stop shop for Halloween.
Honestly, sponsor us.
Yes, please.
We need it.
I know.
Please.
I also have this dude who is a big mood for me. I found him at Dollarama.
Have you named him?
I'm gonna call him Albert.
Albert.
He's basically what I look like every day when I get
We love
to work.
Albert.
Yeah. He knows. He doesn't love
have
Halloween,
another little owl somewhere, I don't know where, named Oliver, which is not a creative name, but he's really cute.
Oliver
he's a little like
cute.
fluffy black owl, but he's in the box right now.
One of your many taxidermies.
No, he's not a taxidermy. This is a fake Halloween owl. He's very real to me.
Okay.
But no, I do have several taxidermy birds, but
clap your hands, children, if you do believe in fake owls.
we believe in Oliver.
Like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Which whoever is listening from not outside of Canada was a pretty. Now you watch it's pretty cheesy, but it was pretty cool. A little bit of like a campfire horror story show. And if you are a child who grew, or adult now, but if you were a child in the 90s, you know this show.
Yeah, and you probably were very scared. I hope you were scared of it, because I was scared of it.
Yes, and everyone has at some point tried to throw a bucket of sand on their bonfire. And
specifically with like reference to the show.
To that, yeah.
That was the for the submittal of the Midnight Society or something
yes,
like that.
The Midnight Society, which, quite frankly, if you're letting your child go off into the woods in the I don't know how they all snuck out for this Midnight Society. My mother would have had the entire like street out looking for me if I was in the woods at like
with a bunch of
midnight
with like one older kid. What's his deal? Also,
who's the only one who remembers to put sand on the fire at the end of it? Like,
yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't set the forest on fire. Quite frankly,
but that would have been a scary episode.
There was an episode I remember from that had the twins from Sister Act, not Sister Act. What is it called? The two sisters, Tia and Tamara, and they're like I forgot. Anyways, they were in an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And it was like how one of them was like a snake-esque shapeshifter.
Oh.
And it was like in the episode they weren't twins, it was that one of them was taking over the other's life.
Right.
But it creeped me out when I was a kid because spoiler alert.
Sorry if you want to watch this episode.
Right. The girl at the end did the whole Thriller thing where she turned and she had like the snake eyes and it wasn't actually and they had killed the wrong person. It was, so
I love that.
Watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's pretty it's nice nostalgic horror, campy horror.
Yeah,
man. I don't know. I feel like everyone, not everyone, I feel like a good chunk of my friends as we grew up kept being like, oh, Halloween is so kiddish, like it's such a kid thing. And I was like, why does it have to be just a kid thing?
It's such a weird thing to growing up, like from like, I don't know, 8 years to like maybe 14, when some kids were still like, hey, let's go trick-or-treating, and other kids were like, that's for babies.
I'm like, it's free candy, so
yeah,
I'm going.
And then there's just an immediate cutoff where you're like, okay, so now we're maybe drinking, maybe smoking weed, or maybe like, I think when I was like 14, we like went out at night and just like went to like, I don't know, wandered around like we thought we were cool or something, but we didn't like drink or do drugs.
You did the teenage lurk about?
Yeah, we just lurked in like a school playground. I don't know what we were doing.
And that's truly the spirit of Halloween, children.
I think we saw like real teenagers and we were like, wow.
Wow,
cool.
They don't even care that there's free
candy.
Let's
go somewhere else.
I absolutely love like dressing up. I loved it so much. And so like even when I was a kid, there's people who were like, oh, I put on some cat ears, and like for me, I'm like, I hand sewed a genie costume.
I was definitely not that cool.
I was not cool.
I wore, and I mean, this is definitely a personality thing. Like in general, I wore the same costume like a few years in a row. Like once I had a costume I liked, I would just wear it every year. So I think I was like a fairy for like 4 years when I was a kid.
I mean, that's always nice.
I also, I got costumes from, my mom worked in a daycare, so I just would get the costumes from the daycare costume area.
Listen, sometimes your parents' workplaces came in clutch. Whiteout.
They were really cool costumes. It was a really good, a quality, almost theater. It had obviously been donated.
Oh, was it from their dress up thing?
Yeah, from their dress up bin, and I was I'm having that.
No, for sure. I mean, quite frankly, I've always shopped in thrift shops since I was a kid. Hand-me-downs were the gospel in my house. And so, I remember I wanted to be Sailor Moon, the bride form.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's
Moon
so
Princess
good.
on the moon form. And I found an old, bridal dress. I was a little bit of a taller child. And
No.
so, no. For those of you who don't know, I'm about 6 foot. 5'11", if we're being pedantic. Anyways, so I got a whole dress. I put my hair in these because my hair was much longer when I was a kid. Put it in the buns on top of my hair and the puffs. I felt so good.
That's a good costume.
And people were like, "Ooh, look at it, it's so nice. You must have gotten it." I was like, "No, I got it for $5 out of a bargain bin." But I was feeling it, and I feel though that's not a feeling that should stop at in childhood, you know?
Way. It's too good.
Use your creativity, have some fun, let loose a little bit.
Life is pretty difficult. You've got, generally speaking, but it is. And, people fucking work hard and they don't get a lot of time to themselves. And, obviously if you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. But, if you're someone who does enjoy that shit, you should do it. You should I think that's why so many people kind of our age, which is very young, very, very young, a little baby. So people our age are indulging in playing a shit ton of board games and buying there's a better way to say this than adult toys because that is not what I mean.
I get it. But
playing with getting stoned and playing with
figures.
Lego and shit like that.
LARPing.
It's fun.
It's funny that we're in such a transitional period in our timeline as a species.
Yeah.
Where, the people who are coming down on people like that, people are like, "Oh, you play Dungeons and Dragons?" Ew. Those people are seen as, well, you seem like you have a stick up your butt.
Oh, I know. Which, I don't know, 15 years ago,
yeah.
It was still funny to make fun of people who did, RPGs, and now everybody does. Everyone's I do that, once a month with my friends.
I do it. Oh, you mean creativity?
Yeah,
that's my bag. Yeah, no. And, I find that when you're a kid, costumes look cute on you no matter what. You can wear anything.
It's pretty hard to look like shit as a 5-year-old.
Yeah, the true test.
Billy, you did not show up. You did not.
No, you cannot be part of the costume
You're barred,
contest.
frankly.
Are you kidding me?
Do you want me to call your mom so she can? Yeah, she's gonna pick you up.
Oh, you think you're Pikachu? I beg to differ. But no, the true test is when you get older and there's so many more things you can dress up as.
Yes.
And
you can do anything you want.
You can do whatever you want.
There's something.
Be a sexy lamp. Be a sexy John Oliver, which apparently is a costume. Be a sexy anything.
Yeah.
Be a sexy box.
Yeah.
Feel your boxy form. Why not?
She's giving box.
She's giving cardboard.
She's serving
cardboard 70% recycled material.
Hey.
I mean, that's basically every design challenge on Drag Race.
Yeah.
Drag me. But yeah, no, I mean, it's such a fun thing to do. So that's one thing I will say to anybody out there who's I don't know, is it nerdy? Is it
no,
nerdy?
just do it.
There's
also almost no matter what costume you do, someone is gonna recognize it. Or if they don't, they might kind of be wait, I think I've seen that before. I remember Sebastian did a character from Boardwalk Empire, which is not it's not no one's seen the show, but kind of not the most famously recognizable one. And like, several people at the party were like, oh my god, I know who you are. And I was really surprised. Like, it was awesome. It was a great costume, but it's cool.
You find people that you have similar interests in, right?
Yeah.
When I was in Japan, I dressed up as Lana from Archer.
Which also, I hope you have photos of, because I want to see them.
I do, and you will. And I dressed up as Lana from Archer, and not many people watched Archer. I don't know about now, but this was like a couple.
When it like first came out,
ago, yeah. And like not a lot of people watch it there because obviously the jokes are a little different, and it's hard to translate, right? But anywho, I was like, no one's gonna recognize me. Like, no one knows. Everybody just kept calling me a spy or an action woman, and I was like, cool. Anywho, I remember walking to, like, we're going to another bar. We're doing a bit of bar hopping. You know, as you do.
Yes, you do.
And then this Australian couple was like, oh my god, you're Lana. You're Lana, oh my god. And I was like, oh yeah, it's me. It's Lana. I'm Lana. You know who I am? They're like, oh my god, can we take a picture with you? This looks so good. And I was like,
god, that's great.
You know what? I've seen hundreds of people tonight, and this one couple made my night. Like,
it does, though. When somebody comes up and they're like, your costume's amazing. It feels so good.
Work that up, dude.
I also think there's like, you know, you can do like a sexy costume, but also like a funny costume. Incredible.
Yeah.
Like sometimes to me, funny is like gonna be sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Like scary's good. Scary's always cool, but like, it, you know, I kind of think like sexy and scary are here.
Mm-hmm.
And then like if you can do an actually funny costume, like you win. You just win.
Thin line between fear and horny.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I know, but that's...
Am I scared?
That's a conversation for me and my therapist.
No, like, especially with things like trick-or-treating. Obviously, in our society, there's an age that you're not supposed to go trick-or-treating at anymore, blah, 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 blah. That's always been a butt of the joke in a lot of Halloween movies, right? But, I mean, there's other ways you can trick-or-treat when you get older, like sharing a beer at a party. Be a friend.
Is that trick-or-treating?
That's adult trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Communal alcohol, why not? Like, hey, I got some alcohol, trick-or-treat.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Because you have an activity when you're a kid, you need to kind of replace it.
Yeah.
But, like, also, when I've thrown, because I have often thrown a lot of Halloween parties. They're pretty fun. They're kind of like legendary, but no.
I'm on the list.
She's on the list, yeah. Oh, I have to add you to the list. No. But, like, we also always put out, like, my roommate loves Halloween. Just loves Halloween more than anyone else I know. And so we always decorate with, like, spooky decorations. And we'll put out candy and stuff. And I think people really like it because, like, you get that, like, nostalgic factor as well. You still get to get drunk and, like, shake your ass or whatever. But whatever you want to do.
Or whatever. Or tail or horns or whatever you're wearing that day.
But you get a little bit of that, like, childhood nostalgia as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Everyone loves a party that has intention behind it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I love a theme party. Even if it's not Halloween, I'm always trying to put a theme in there.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you all. These bunny ears were not purchased for Halloween. I'll tell you that much. Everyone who saw me in that costume thought that I had done something for Halloween.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was like, no, it's just, I just go to a theme party. You know? It is what it is. I think that, like...
any excuse to dress up, to be honest.
And I don't see why dressing up really has to be that juvenile.
It's not.
Like, I'm a cosplayer of sorts. And people always come down on cosplayers sometimes online. And it's just like, you know how much work it is to do some of the things that they do?
Yeah, it's impressive. Like, it's a skill.
Yes. And cosplaying is not costuming, and I'm gonna get a little bit on my
they're different
right now.
I mean, they obviously overlap.
They can be,
but it is different.
But it's much different if you're wearing a costume for one night versus wearing a costume for 4 days in a hot, sweaty convention area that has to be functional.
Yeah, and also, like, if you want to test it, you literally type into Google, Sailor Moon costume, Sailor Moon cosplay.
Yes.
You're gonna get what you're looking for in the cosplay section. Take that however you will.
Online when it arrives. Those are two different things. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And speaking of which, I am really annoyed with the sizing of costumes.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
I don't want to harken back, but like I said, I'm 5'11". I'm a tank. Let's just say that. I'm a very broad lady. And so when it comes to buying costumes, it's so hard to find a size, especially Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
I want it to be Sailor Jupiter.
The skirt on a regular costume is going to be like...
Yeah. Like if I wanted my ass to be on display all night, which let's be honest, y'all want that. No, just joking.
Hey.
Then I'd probably buy one. If I wanted Sailor Scout lingerie, I'd just buy a regular Sailor Moon.
You could just
costume.
do that.
But when it comes to Sailor Jupiter, she's supposed to be relatively tall and a wrestler. So I was really annoyed that I could never find one when I was younger. Yeah. It really annoyed me.
And it's not like it's not a fucking popular costume. It's stayed and been popular since the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
For adults.
They did a remake of it multiple times.
You'd think they'd have more options, but they just don't. And also, like, looking for any kind of plus-size costume, oh my god, it's dismal.
So demoralizing.
I looked up a list. Usually I just come up with my own costumes anyways, but I was like, I was curious. I'm like, let's look at a plus size ideas for costumes. Because I know for a lot of plus size people as well, sometimes you want to lean, like, people don't get this, but you want to lean into it. You're like, I want to be a character that's like curvy or whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's fair because like it makes sense. But the first two suggestions were Ursula, which sure.
Okay.
And like Shrek, Fiona, and I'm like, so do you want to be a monster or an ogre?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then the next one is like devil, and it's like a shapeless red like tent or something.
No.
It's brutal. And like regular costumes, you're not gonna find a size in either. So like, and it's the same I think for probably most women in general. It's like if you're like really busty or you're really short or whatever, like there's just no options.
Right? Don't get us wrong. Shout out to Ursula, the size.
Oh yeah. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah.
It's just the same.
But
it's really a reflection of the fact that there's not really a lot of plus size characters.
And it's also like,
to be honest,
what we consider for costumes for somebody who's plus size. Like if like the things that come to mind rather than like when you're like somebody who's of an average body type, which we all know is not average in the media, but cool. But like when you think about costumes for them, like there's so many more things that'll come up.
You can kind of just do anything, to be honest.
But once you put plus size on something,
you get a very specific list.
Sort of like when, so again, Canadian viewers, I guess this is American too, but Payless, okay? Payless Shoe Source was a place to go.
That was the place to go for us, for sure.
I'm a size 11 shoe, and it was very visible that they were like, oh, size 8, you're cool. Here, you can wear whatever you want. And you would go up in size 9. It's like, all right, you're cool. 10, maybe not. Size 11, you're a construction worker.
But like every store I've worked in, I've had to be like, we have like one size 11. Or like I can order it for you, and it's so stupid.
Here's some like slippers for your house. It's like, great, that's cool. I really want to look good at this wedding.
But you'd like options like everybody else.
Yes, thank you. So like when it comes to costuming, like for me, that sort of led me to like making my own costumes.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons that I like cosplay as well, because you can just make your own stuff and do what you want to do. But it's also a good creative outlet, everybody. So like buy your costumes, make your costumes, do whatever. But, you know, to have that time of the year where everyone's free to have that creative outlet is so fun.
I also think like there's like for me it's kind of hunting for the pieces. Like I won't necessarily make a full costume. I don't really have the skills. Like you do. I don't. I don't really know how to sew. I should. But like I really like just going to like Value Village every like I don't know if I have the time every few days or like every week and just being like, can I find something that fits perfectly for this costume? And you usually can.
Yeah.
If you're like not worried about it looking exactly right, which is where, you know, you have to get a bit more creative and sew and actually make things.
Transform it.
Yeah, it's really fun just going and sort of like hunting for the perfect like item for your costume.
Oh, definitely. Also, Value Village, pay us. Because we've been giving you a lot of free publicity in this one. But yeah, no, quite frankly, like when it comes to like thrifting in general, I love it. When it comes to thrifting, like you said, when you find that one piece that like really works with your costume, really is like, yes.
It's just really satisfying.
I didn't tell you. Today I went to Value Village.
Nice.
There, as I lived there apparently, and there were boots, properly made boots that were red, like Sailor Moon ones, that were the red with like, but it was like instead of white, it was gold trim, and they were not my size.
No, that's awesome though. What size were they?
They were 9.
Ah,
yeah,
that's sweet.
I don't know.
Oh, they'll be gone.
They'll be gone.
They'll be gone. That's awesome though.
But that's the thing, like. When you see that, if you were a person who's going to dress up as a woman, even a superhero, because you can wear those boots.
Yeah, anything in that kind of vein.
Yeah, it's like jackpot, you know? So those kind of things, like finding your costumes at thrift stores as well is a feat, and it takes a lot of effort too. But it's fun. Nice, and it's rewarding, right? Yeah.
So think about it.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it. When it comes to like, when it does come to house parties though, I feel like there's a lot of people who really lose their etiquette, shall we say.
Yeah, I think every party, there's always been somebody who you're like, have you been around a woman before? Like there's that.
Yeah, no, especially like, because Halloween, like you're saying, Halloween is a time when you just want to express yourself. You want to be, you know, you want to have a good time. You want to
be a little slutty, that's fine.
And that's fair. Like, we're all sleuths sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, this might be what the costume calls for. Or this might just be what I want to wear today.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's like a carte blanche for people to like be creepy.
It's also... Oh my god. I'm sorry, I had a flashback.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Just remembering. Like, I was gonna say, it's not an excuse for people to touch you, which it's not. And I mean, countless experiences, as probably all women have had. And I'm sure a lot of men have had too, like where people like grab you because your skin is exposed.
Yep.
Maybe your skin isn't even exposed, but anyway. Yeah, I had a guy once, I was wearing a Wednesday Addams-esque kind of wig.
Okay.
And he was like, "Oh, is that your real hair?" And I was like, "No, I'm like a ginger." Like, it was like pitch black. I was like, "No, I have red hair." And he was like, "You have red hair? That's so cool." And then he's like, "Take your wig off." Oh. Take your wig off. And I was like, "No." Like, I'm in a bar. And I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that." Like, what? No. And he's like, and he reached for my hair and he's like, I want to see your hair. Like, he wasn't being angry about it, but he was like, "I want to see your hair." I was like, "No, I don't want to fucking take my..." First of all, if I take this off, it's going to be just like a sweaty, like, helmet. Everyone who's worn a wig all night on Halloween knows. Your hair doesn't, like, just bounce out of it.
Do you want a tired single mom look? Because that's what you're going to get.
Yeah. Like, nobody wants to see this.
No.
But very weird. Don't do that. Just as a lesson.
Yeah, like,
don't like touch people's faces and stuff and their hair or any part of them without, you know, kind of consent.
Speaking of like touching people's faces, like when I was Lana, I did the art, like the mod, you know, the makeup, the mod makeup, you know, where it makes
like the sort of line art.
Line art, yeah, exactly. And I was wearing that makeup, and this guy at a bar, like one of these like rugby players who was having a time with his bros, came over and tried to like wipe the makeup off my face.
That's very weird.
And was like, oh, it's like women always wear this stuff, and like it's you Halloween. Should see you shouldn't wear this, you shouldn't hide behind this. And I was like, duh. I immediately elbowed him in the ribs and said, "Don't touch me."
Yeah.
And
as you should.
Yeah, and his friends quite intelligently took him out of the bar because
also check your friends.
Check your like everyone travel with some good friends because quite frankly, people can get pretty.
And this goes not to be like it goes for everybody.
Yeah.
If one of your friends is making a total ass of themselves, rein him in.
You gotta referee that.
You're all responsible for each other to a little bit of a level.
Yeah, call it out, give them a red card, take them off the field. Like,
they're their own person, but you gotta also try to rein him in.
Yeah, I figure that, like, when it comes to, especially a house party, it's such a small, and obviously there's big houses, not mine though.
Yeah.
But it's such a small, like, environment.
It's intimate.
Yeah, it's intimate.
A lot of people crowded into one person's home.
And it's like one thing if you're at a club and you can, like, get away from somebody. It's another thing when you're at a house party and you're trying to, like, be, like, friendly and, like, open to everybody, and that one person makes you feel like, this is the creepiest place I've ever been to, and I really don't want to be here, because it's obvious when you don't like a person at a house party. I think that's fair to say. Like, it's obvious when you don't want to talk to somebody.
And even if you are humoring them or something, like, you know, there's a point where if you try to kind of, hey, I'll catch you on the next round, and you try to go somewhere else, like, maybe give that person some space.
Yeah.
let them come to you
on the next round.
Yeah, which might be a goodbye at the end of the night.
They're not going to catch you.
Yeah, they're not going to catch you.
It's just like, I can't believe the audacity of some people. And you know, like, we've hung out many times. Like, so many people, I'm like, like, just the amount of stuff that people will let others get away with. And Halloween, yes, be free, be creative, whatever, but don't be a creep.
Yeah, and don't let other people, like, think they can fucking touch you. Or, like, or ask you weird fucking questions, or just, like, be inappropriate. You don't have to deal with it.
No.
You can just be like, okay, cool, and just walk away.
Do the curtains match the drape? No, it's a wig.
Oh my god. As somebody with red hair, I literally have got that question since I was
I can only imagine.
I don't know, 11. Terrifying.
It's horrible.
I was like, what is that?
Talk about horror stories.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's what I mean. Be a ghost, be a ghoul, be a witch, don't be a creep.
Don't be a creep.
Okay?
That's our PSA.
There you go, children.
Pumpkin spice.
Teaching the children.
Oh, avoidant.
I mean, this is a very
advice.
This is a very pumpkin spice. This is a very pumpkin spice.
This is my
the sixth Spice Girl.
Yeah, this is spice. I call this Christian Girl Autumn. Joke's on you, I love crosses.
Ooh, nice. Do you want to marry me? You can go on that.
Don't ride a horse, ride a cowboy.
Oh,
except
if that
only
cowboy
if you're married.
That weird right-wing dating site that came out that instantly flopped because there's a right-wing dating site that just came out that instantly flops because they couldn't get enough men on it, and I was like, yeah, I wonder why. Like, dating sites that are geared to everyone have a problem with getting, like, either not getting enough women or not getting enough men. So did you think that this one very specific niche of a dating site was going to get all the people in the world?
Of course.
But I digress. Halloween. I think that I do like house parties for Halloween, though.
It's a fun time.
It's a fun time. You know who's going to be there. You can even house party hop, which is a fun time. That is a fun time.
Like, we grew up, I mean, like, doing house parties for us, we had roommates, we lived in a house with roommates. So it was one kind of a fun way to just all do something together, but also, like, I found when I was, like, in my early 20s and stuff, which was only a year or so ago.
Oh, yeah.
But, when I was, like, in my early 20s, like, I didn't have money to go to clubs, and I didn't want to. Like, everyone would be like, oh, do you want to go to, like, this club event? And but you'd go to this event, you'd spend money on your costume, and then it would be at, like, a $30 cover to get into the club. And then you're just gonna get, like, sardined into, like, a hot club and be, like, bothered by men, frankly. And, like, barely be able to get a drink. and then $30 to just get in the door. Like,
well, it's
I
like
could
you
just
pay
never-
money to
I
pay
never got
more
it.
money for drinks.
Yeah, and I know it is definitely some people's entire, like, that's
Yeah.
their vibe, and that's cool if you want to pay for it, but, like, it wasn't for me at all. So house parties was, like, the natural kind of alternative to that.
Listen,
And they were a shit show. They were fun.
house parties balling on a budget.
Yeah, it
okay?
is.
And whether it's a shit show or not, they are fun.
Yeah.
They do get pretty fun. I mean, it's fun to me to, like, see what everybody's level of costume is too. When
There's
it comes
always
to
a
house
big,
party.
like, variety, I
Yeah.
guess, in terms of, like, how, like, seriously people take it.
Yes.
So some people will come in with, like, I don't know, like a t-shirt and, like, hi, I'm this person.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. That's fine. To me, just wear anything that is a costume. I just don't like when people don't come in costume.
Yes. So if you're I put on a trench coat so I'm a detective queen, we love it.
Yeah.
If you're hey, I hand stitched these sequins on this Jessica Rabbit dress, we love it.
Yeah.
Just come in a
I
costume.
think one of my friends once just came in their work uniform, but just put on, like, dead zombie makeup and was like themselves as a dead employee. And I was like, yeah.
Which, quite frankly,
I
you
love
didn't even
it.
need the makeup for.
Yeah, to be honest. Crushed by capitalism.
Yeah, my soul was dead long ago. Yeah, no, I capitalism is the horror story.
That's the thing that will truly kill us all.
Yes. Just like Michael Myers. Michael Myers with the shirt
Slowly.
that says capitalism.
Slowly walking towards you with a knife.
No, slowly walking towards you with a high interest loan.
Have you seen those? There's like, it was like a TikTok trend where people were seeing if they could outrun Michael Myers. So, like, it's him just like walking,
yes.
and they're trying to, like, get the key in the door. And I have not done it, but I consistently assumed that I could do it.
Yeah.
Like, I watch it and I'm like, you can't. How the fuck? You're never gonna survive.
Never gonna.
I'd probably trip immediately, but I'm just like, you
dead.
losers, I could do that.
Frankly, when it comes to horror movies, they do walk super slowly, and I get the idea that, yeah, when you're panicked.
In that one, for sure,
Yeah, like when you're panicked or whatever, that's fair enough. But let's be honest, like, Michael Myers had some supernatural ability to show up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that man is not a small dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And somehow he's, like, ninjaing into friggin' cupboards and shit. I'm like, oh, okay. How did you get there? How did they even get past you to get into your... He's a giant person. Like, I don't understand it. Sometimes he's, like, behind a door. I'm like, you
and then you just suddenly, they're like, how the fuck did you... You sneaky fuck.
It's definitely an interesting TikTok trend, and I can understand where the panic would come in, but I don't know, man.
I think people do pretty well, and then they get to the door and they're like,
it's like, I've never used keys in my life.
It's like when you're drunk and you have to pee and you're like, please, like, or trying to get the fucking key in the lock.
Or, like, I understand older movies where you have, like, the wind-up windows on a car where you have to, like, manually wind it up. Or even the movies where before they had the all windows up button. But those people in movies where they're like, they haven't locked
or they have to, like,
door
lean across to lock
to
the door.
lock
And,
it,
like, you definitely can do that from your driver's seat.
Yes, especially in the more modern stuff. And don't get me started with cell phones. Because some movies...
Oh my God.
Some movies, I appreciate them trying to be like, well, there's no cell phone service or my cell phone died.
Like, we have to suspend our disbelief a little bit. But
sometimes... It's like, just give somebody a call or a text that says, run, bitch, run. Or, like, don't go into the laundry room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'd use my dying moments to be like, bitch, get out of the house. Take a selfie and be like, I'm literally, get out.
Hashtag dead.
Don't come for me. Save yourself.
Exactly. Hashtag stranger danger.
Yeah. Hashtagging it as you die. Hashtag literally slay.
We laugh, but we know that there are people who have hashtagged their like car crash. It's like, oh, come on. Like, let's be honest, kids. Kids, be responsible during Halloween.
That's
Uber
true.
it out. Uber, Lyft.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't hitchhike, because that's the beginning of a horror movie.
Yeah, never do that.
No.
Also, Well, I was gonna be like, if you live in the city, I guess you don't hitchhike in the city. Really? Don't.
I mean,
don't do it anywhere.
Some people do, but it is a choice.
Well, my mom grew up in the 60s, and she's always like, we used to hitchhike everywhere. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, it's so weird how normal that was.
Are you a ghost?
Yeah. She's like, nothing ever happened, except for one time when we had to run away. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
They kept doing it.
Before we had tracking devices, and don't get me wrong, governments, don't come for me. Amazon, you're probably already tracking my every move. But have fun tracking me on the couch for 3 hours while I binge Drag Race Philippines.
Exactly.
But like, before that, holy crap, like I would be scared to go anywhere. Yeah. I remember we had landlines for a while when I was a kid. I mean, no, we didn't. I mean, I've heard of like a landline before. Yeah, I don't know what those are.
But yeah, we definitely like, I don't remember. I guess we just call people and meet them somewhere. Like,
yeah. Or you'd have pagers. Pagers, right?
I never had a pager.
I never had one.
We were too young. We were too young to have pagers at the time.
I definitely was. But my sister had one, and it was so funny because I just found them so interesting. I mean, doctors now
I still don't think I know how they work.
Well, like you can send a message, or you can just send them a message like,
or like
that
a page.
Yeah, so like you can send a message saying this person called you, like to them, so it will go across the screen. Or when they got a little bit more advanced, if you can believe it, there was like a short message you can send on it. So the little message would go across the screen like, meet me here at this time.
Right.
But doctors still use it because apparently they're a lot more reliable than some of our cell phones.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought they were cool at the time my sister had them.
Right.
Now I have a mini computer. Like
yeah, like at this point, it doesn't really cut it.
We're good.
Yeah, like one thing that's really cool too about Halloween and costumes is the ability to try out different like gender stuff too. So you get the opportunity to, dress as the other gender, do some sort of like gender fuckery, and try that on.
Yeah.
Like a lot of drag queens start out on Halloween because it's just, it's an opportunity to kind of play around with it and not particularly get judged.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I think that like, that's one thing that, on one hand, I really enjoy the, sort of the trend that we have where it's like, oh, you can be sexy anything on Halloween. Because quite frankly, there's a lot of women who don't feel like they can most of the other times of the year.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, you
can. But I get it. But on the other hand, I feel like sometimes it does put some pressure on people.
Yeah, I think it really does.
Sexy, or like to dress like traditionally femme sexy.
Yeah.
Whereas like, give me an androgynous person and then like just a hot suit of armor or something, and I'm like,
that's the thing is, you really can do anything you want. Like, you can wear any kind of costume you want. You can do a male costume if you're female. You can do something androgynous. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And
it should just be fun. There shouldn't be a ton of pressure.
Exactly. I feel like, and this is the thing, is like, you have such a wide range of costumes. You have such a wide range of ideas that you can like just have fun, play within. But I will say there's some people who take costumes and they go a little too far.
In which direction?
In the, oh hey, I'm a Japanese person direction. It's like no.
The whole like culture is not a costume. That's very real and fair.
It's very fair. You can be like people from different cultures who are very prominent without having to be that race or culture. Do you know what I mean? Like, it seems like people are like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna put on, I don't know, like a dashiki and be like, oh hey, I'm African now. It's like, don't do that. Let's get back down to the brass tacks here. Halloween is supposed to be like sort of spooky-esque, and sort of like it comes from like the idea of like blending in with the ghouls and ghosts and spirits in some cultures in order to make sure that like, you don't get taken away or like your soul doesn't get taken, right? So think about in that sense, when you put on somebody's cultural garb.
Yeah, it's not great. That's not great.
No, not at all. Not at all. So like, yes, we all have a good playground to be creative, but play responsibly.
Also, like, if your whole goal is like, well, why can't I wear what if people are offended? Well, like, why the fuck do you want to offend people?
Mm-hmm. Like, I understand wanting to express yourself, and that's fair. And even if, let's say, even if you have a costume and it offends people, you know it's going to offend people, and you wear it, fair enough, you know it's going to offend people, and you wear it.
Like, you shouldn't be surprised by the reaction.
Exactly, because you knew it was going to happen.
And you, like, at that point, you're wearing it literally to piss people off or get a response or something. Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I mean, I love the freedom of costumes. I enjoy the creativity that comes with everything, but there is a responsibility, everybody. And that responsibility is not to be a jerk face.
Essentially. Yeah. Don't be a dick on Halloween.
Yeah.
Unless you want to, like, dress up as a dick. That's probably fine.
Please then, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Speaking of don't be a dick on Halloween, trick-or-treating, as much as I miss it, has had some scary stuff happen in the past, or like some traumatic instances for a lot of people. I mean, in Toronto when we were younger, there were actually like stories of like that people had actually put things in stuff, like corroborated stories. So
apart from just the regular like razor blades and the chocolate kind of like
aside from that. And so like, you know, like I miss it, but I also just wish people weren't like dicks about it, because now there's not as many places that you can trick or treat, and there's not as many people who are open to being to opening their doors on Halloween and giving kids candy because of all that stuff that happens. I mean, I remember once I was out with my friends trick-or-treating, and like, obviously we're being stupid. Okay, we're kids.
How old were you guys?
I think we were like 9 or 10.
Like kids, yeah.
It was like 10 because like we were out by like together. So like our parents were like staying together kind of thing. So we were like 10 or 11. And my friends were like, saw this group of guys and we should go talk to them. I was like, no, we shouldn't. Let's not do that. Guys, come on. And they're like, no. And it was like basically a 5 against 1 kind of thing. And we went up to them. And they asked us for a candy, and we said, and I was like, no. And we ended up at gunpoint. So hey, not fun. So people, there's
you got robbed of your candy.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah. Why though? I really don't. Is candy that hard to come by? Are we 19?
Clearly not about the candy at that point. Like what?
Just pick them up. Give them Snickers. See?
Listen,
like,
toots.
But it was just like, even when, and like we ran, whatever, we left our candy, we ran. But like when I was at home, I was even thinking, why?
Yeah,
why
like,
would
really,
you even,
was it worth it?
Was it worth it for just
like an initiation thing? Like you gotta like steal from these children.
And also, I'm just thinking, how much was it to get that gun? Do you know what I mean? Like you probably could have just bought a bunch of candy instead. Anywho, sorry, trigger warning, everybody. But there's a third T to trick or treat.
Trick or treat or trauma. That's that's what you get.
That's what we get. So again, play responsibly, everybody, and stop being jerk faces. Okay? Yeah. That's a lesson from.
Don't be a dick on Halloween.
Yeah, it's a lesson from us.
It's a PSA.
It's a PSA. Another one.
Yeah,
Another one.
A lot of those.
I feel like also when it comes to gender bending, like I enjoy that with all the stuff that's happening right now in the world. I super enjoy that like Halloween is that like proxy, like you said, for like drag queens, right? So nice to have just a time where you can feel safe and to see people feeling comfortable enough.
Yeah, and getting to kind of like dip their toes in the water, right?
Yeah. Have you ever done a gender bending costume?
I'm I'm trying to think. I think I've done... Not really. I was Clockwork Orange, like the main character from Clockwork Orange in high school, but I didn't really, like, you know, do it properly.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a male character, but I just wore the outfit. I didn't, like, commit to the gender.
No, like, binding or...
No, I like, didn't even know what that was when I was 18.
I think I've never done it for Halloween in terms of a gender bender costume. They did do a gender bending costume that, fun fact, everybody, my mom is a lovely woman who...
This is a fun fact.
Yeah. Hot take. Is a lovely woman who liked to, like, encourage me in my weird niche interests when I was a kid. But, like, sometimes as a teenager, you don't want your mom knowing exactly
That's fair.
what you're into, because sometimes those things, especially if you're into things like anime, are not are not things that you should really be looking into. Parents, please. And so there's one character that I wanted to dress up as, and it was from a video game, and the video game was a little risque.
What's the video?
And one of the characters wore, like, this white suit and had, like, it was like a male character with this white suit and this pink boa. So I had to find this pink boa, and my mother was like, "Oh, why do you need a pink boa for? What are you looking for?" And I could not. I was like, I am not going. I can't let you know what this is. Like, I was like, it's a character.
You won't know.
I was like, it's a character. Please don't ask me any more questions.
That's so funny.
So, like, I enjoy that I had a supportive mom. It was one of those things where, like, when you do costumes, you have to be prepared. People will ask you,
"Oh, absolutely,
yeah, costume from?" And if you are not proud of your costume,
yeah, you should probably be pretty ready to answer it.
Answer some questions. Hey guys, thanks for watching.
It's been a spooky ride.
That's it for our Halloween Spooktacular. But please check out our other videos where we play a little bit of a cool Halloween game.
Yeah, and we've got some other content coming out, so check us out on Instagram, Patreon, and Twitch for future cool stuff.
Thanks. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.
I guess you should have said happy.